hit up on this because there
So
was.
all I really want to talk about was Avowed, because like holy shit, I love Obsidian. One of my favorite studios. To see them be like, you know what, Bethesda, we're gonna take another property of yours and we're gonna make it better.
I'm worried though that they got a little bit too, like, I don't know, they got a little bit too arrogant after how well the Outer Worlds did, and it might not be as good as anyone's expecting, because that was my. It was good, but it didn't feel as diverse as a Fallout does. Like, the writing was great, but everything else around it, I was like,
I think part of the problem was the scale of that game kind of limits it in a way, because like that game isn't big at all.
No,
I'd almost describe it as a series of sandboxes. You just bounce to bounce, level to.
No, that makes sense. I can totally see that.
It doesn't work as well as New Vegas, in my opinion, but it's still a great game. I enjoy that game a lot.
It is, like, and like I said, like the writing and the dialogue choices are where the meat of that game is. Like, everything else you're doing, like, it's important in a video game sense, but everything that you're accomplishing in that game is accomplished through dialogue, is the impression I got. Like, go ahead.
You can do things by force too.
Yeah, you can. I understand that, but I feel like the strength of that game comes from the dialogue writing more than anything else, and that's always been Obsidian's strongest point. Because, like, that was my big thing with that game, was I fell off of it not right after the first planet, but not that far after, because the first planet was just perfect. Like, it had everything I wanted.
The first little area, like, it starts out with you, spoilers, killing the captain you're supposed to meet by landing on your pod, which is great. It just, everything about that first planet is a great tone setter, and like I can kind of see how people would fall off afterwards. I think part of why I love that game so much is because I've played New Vegas about like 18 times, so I kind of almost know that game like forwards to back.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with doing monotonous tasks.
Okay.
I don't think anyone else is.
Yeah. See, I've never even beaten New Vegas. Like, I started playing it, and then I couldn't play it anymore just because I think my 360 died. It was like my second.
That's actually a little bit frustrating.
Yeah. That, and I don't have the free time I did before to play through a game like a Fallout or during Elder Scrolls. Yeah.
That game is relatively short, and it's still about 100 hours if you want to do everything.
Jesus Christ.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, another thing with Avowed that kind of caught my interest is it's set in the Pillars of Eternity world, Eora, which is awesome because I love Pillars of Eternity.
Yeah, I've had it sitting on my Xbox One because it was on Game Pass, and I need to jump into it because I need to make a bear squad.
You read that article too, huh?
Yes. That was the thing. Like, I bought Divinity 2, mistaking it for Pillars of Eternity. I mean, don't get me wrong, Divinity 2 is a great game.
It's fantastic,
But yeah, I totally went into it. All right, where's Bear Squad? Oh no, I don't have the right game. But yeah, it's everything I've ever heard about Pillars of Eternity. It's phenomenal, and it's a ton of fun. So I'm excited to check out a different first-person RPG first time at all.
I'm excited to see what they do with a Skyrim-esque game. Really,
yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't end up like that Might and Magic first-person role-playing game.
No, God. Of Might and Magic, that's a series that came and went real fast.
Yeah. It's one of those things that, like, the name Might and Magic dates back to like 80s and like 90s PC games. So it's anyone who is technically a fan of the Might and Magic property probably doesn't really play video games that much anymore.
They've got mortgages and like
exactly, and children who are in their 20s. Yeah. Oh God, kill me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that was my biggest thing with this Xbox like games showcase, was that they didn't really show a whole lot of gameplay with stuff.
Not a lot of meat. Not a lot of meat. It's mostly all potatoes. If I had to.
Yeah, No, that's a pretty accurate analogy for it. Like the only ones that you really saw before were stuff that we've known about forever.
Yeah.
Or go ahead.
Or DLC.
Yes. Yeah. Well, like having Moon Studios. Do they have something new? And then it's just like, oh, it's Ori at like 120 FPS, which is cool. But
I turned to my roommate when they showed that. I was like, "Did that game come out? I
Yeah.
swear that came out."
yeah, I was kind of the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute, what are you guys doing to me here? So they're basically announcing an up-res. Like that's all they're really doing there.
They showed Halo, which Halo. It's Halo. I like Halo a lot. I'm excited to play it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Thanks, bro.
I am still here for those listening. I am still.
It leading off your big like games reveal event. That I don't know if that was the best, guys. Like
Here is where I will defend that because Halo fans, that's all they talk about is Halo Infinite. That's all they want. And like there are people I guarantee you who as soon as that was over turned it off because they didn't care about anything else.
Right. Like Madden fans.
Yes.
Like don't get me wrong, the things that they were talking about are cool. Like it's open world and some of the stuff they showed that they were doing in this very play demo. Yeah, it looked neat. Like Master Chief got that arm cannon thing that
he's got a grappling hook, Titanfall 2 shit.
Exactly. But man, the aliens, the Covenant, and the brutes, they didn't look so great, did they?
No.
Like
they look. See, here. Okay. I agree, and I disagree on something that has been toted around by people who think that console exclusives matter in the long run because they don't anymore.
No, they don't. Not at all.
I saw a tweet that was like the greatest trick the games industry ever pulled was tricking us into thinking graphical fidelity and art style are even the.
Oh wow.
Sorry, I had to mute for a sec because people are yelling in the background. So
graphical fidelity and
art style are not the same thing. They'll never be the same thing.
No,
nobody gives a shit about teraflops, really. Like,
right.
Could they have made that monkey man and using teraflop?
Dude, his weird mandible teeth. Yeah. It's just I don't know. It's just so dumb. I hate that conversation a lot because I feel like people don't understand that they just don't want to enjoy a game. They just want to justify their large purchase, which is fine if you want to do that. It's just stupid to me.
No, I can totally get behind that. I mean, I think we're at a point now where the graphics can't get much better. Honestly, like there can be faster frame rates and like you can have God particles that are better and what is it that control is supposed to have?
It's fucking ray tracing?
Yeah, ray tracing. Stuff like that. Like you can improve elements that benefit the graphics themselves, but you can't really make the graphic that much better. And I'm fine with that, but Halo, and I don't mean to put a button there. That's ridiculous. That basically tries to invalidate what I'm saying before. With that demonstration of the game, it didn't look much better than Halo 4 or 3 to me. That's my big problem. Like Halo 5, great. Like it looked like an Xbox One game. Like this did not. It looks like a game that's so early in development that shouldn't have shown as much.
The thing is, it's a launch game. Like we can sit here and be like, well, it doesn't look good. Well, I don't think any of these games are in the long run going to look good as something 2 or 3 years down the line.
No, I get that. That. But it's just I don't know. It felt like the game could have, or at least this demo could have been cooked for a little bit longer.
I will agree though, as something to show first, kind of unimpressive.
Yeah,
Right.
and it might not even be that the graphics didn't look good. It was more that it just seemed so empty
Yeah.
from everything they were showing. Like an open world thing, like Cry games have like more robust amount of people or creatures, whatever, on screen than that did, and that's where I was kind of like, oh really?
Yeah. I don't know. It just.
Yeah.
Silly to me to sit here and be like, well, next gen is here. Why does Xbox look like this? It's like, no, there's more to it than that. We've reached a point in graphics where everything's going to be minute. It's not going to be hyper realistic shit all the time.
No, it's going to be about who can make the game load faster or not load at all. Who can do it all in the background while you're playing so you don't even notice, and it's a seamless experience.
It's going to be us looking at fire effects and be like, is this a JPEG? I can't tell.
Exactly. I'm trying to think of what else that was bigger that they showed at that, and Psychonauts 2, but that forever, or anybody who's been paying attention has. And I mean, it looks good, but
I think that game looks rather pretty for as long as it's been in development. Like, I can see where the polish is going.
Yeah, definitely. Although I'm curious, is that going to be released on PS4/5 as well, or
I don't know, because Double Fine is owned by Microsoft, so.
But I don't know if they got everything part and parcel, because I think going to be deals that they made would have already been placed.
Yeah, I don't know what the publishing deal with that, because Outer Worlds came out on everything. Yeah, and exactly. That is a Xbox studio. Like,
yeah.
Part of me also thinks that Microsoft isn't interested in being exclusive before anything.
No,
or like that. So.
Well, that's all Sony really has at this point is their exclusives. Yeah. Because and don't get me wrong, exclusives apparently are very good most of the time, but that's what they live and die by now. Yeah. While Microsoft is playing the long game.
Exclusivity is dying, essentially. It's not there's going to be a future where exclusives don't exist.
Well, we'll all just have one box, like I forget which crazy person.
And you'll plug it into your brain and they'll do like crazy AR shit.
Exactly. I think it was Trip Hawkins who was actually the one talking about we're only going to have one box and everyone's going to play on. One of those old guys who's desperate to make the playing field more even.
Like Major Nelson.
But speaking of like Microsoft exclusive studios, I think the biggest thing, and Arlen had posted something on his profile that Alana Pierce pointed out, which, I think a lot of people are forgetting how big a fucking deal it is. But Microsoft saying all of these games day and date.
Yeah, for Game Pass. For $15, you can play any one of those games.
Yeah, like
when they release, which is
that's insane. That's obscene.
And that service, it was already far too little for what it was.
Yeah.
For like the value that you were getting out of it, it was already exceedingly cheap. But no price gouging here. Same price.
Yeah.
Games coming out the day they premiere is what I'm hearing. Like, wow. Just fantastic.
Yeah, and I can guarantee you, like, any Microsoft like first party game is going to be available for all time on Game Pass. Like, they'll rotate other stuff out, but I don't see something like Gears 5. Any of the Microsoft Studios games ever leaving Game Pass.
No, there's no reason to. Like, they're essentially Netflix exclusives. Like, they're
right.
Yeah.
Well,
and that's
yeah. I was gonna say, maybe they do like a sale on one of their games because they're like, we want people to own this game for some reason. I don't know. But even then, like, they're incentivized to keep stuff on that service because people will continue to subscribe.
Well, the thing is, like, if you download a game on Game Pass and you want to buy it for whatever reason, you get it at a discounted price. Like, they're still pushing you own these games because you don't know. Let's be honest, you don't know when they're going to go. But the fact that they're doing this at all is insane.
Yeah.
And that's my thing too, is I wonder how much are they paying some of these studios? Because I mean, there's times that games come out on there that I haven't heard about until they're on Game Pass.
Yep.
And it seems like they're just shoveling money into these people's coffers and just like, here you go. Just let us just put it out there. And I'm fine with it.
I think the amount they make on Game Pass has to be huge. Like there's got to be an absurd amount of people on Game Pass. Like,
well, it's something I've said to a lot of people who might be interested in getting a system. Like, well, PlayStation has this game, but you spend $15 a month and choice of like different games.
Yeah, if you want to play fucking Disneyland Adventures on a whim, you can do it for $15 a month.
If you want to play the 2 Yakuza games, go ahead.
Before I say this, does PlayStation have anything like this?
They tried.
They do, but it's not as good.
Right. So it makes me wonder if they will push to have something even close to this in terms of quality.
I don't see them doing that. I think they have PS Now, but that is such a...
It doesn't have a whole bunch of latency problems.
It
does. Not that you're actually downloading the game.
If you download the game, you cannot play it unless you are online.
Yeah.
Which defeats the purpose of downloading it in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just they tried and it didn't work.
Yeah. It's that's Sony's biggest weakness right now, is that they have to rely on console exclusives to really get people to stay on their system. I mean, you can get into the punditry bullshit that Hunter and I were talking about, like, oh well, the graphics are better on this. Like, it with these next generation of systems, it's not going to matter. It's going to be the service they offer.
Yeah, that's just where things are going in general.
It's eventually it'll be, like I said, it'll be one box, and it doesn't matter. But at the same time, like, for Sony to not just straight up, like, they could just straight up emulate it, and I don't think anyone would care.
No.
In fact, I think it'd be more popular because of the strength of their exclusives.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would guarantee I would buy the PlayStation just so I could go back and play God and Spider-Man, stuff like that.
And they have Sony is the, I like to call them their legacy console. Like, they're like, Erik doesn't like Jak and Daxter, but people will play those games if you put them on a Game Pass service. Like, people are crazy about Sony exclusives. And you still have, there's no Game Pass service to play them on.
Well, even the original Crash, if you put that on a service, people would play the shit out of that.
Yeah.
Even without even like an up-res or any sort of tinkering with it, just the original game as it played then with some bug fixes and stuff, like, people would play that.
Yeah, look at the Crash Bandicoot remake. Like, that sold crazy amount of copies. People fucking love Crash Bandicoot.
Well, and Sony kind of did a stealth test for that with what was it, 4?
Yeah.
Where it wasn't the up-res version or anything, but it was still just like, oh, hey, here's Bandicoot for people. Oh, they really like playing that? Okay.
It's crazy how that whole thing is in that game. Like,
wait, is the whole game in Uncharted?
No, it's a certain. I think I don't remember what level it is, but it's in there. The fact that they put that into Uncharted 4 is insane to me.
That's insane. That is insane. I don't know. I mean, what else of interest was shown? Well, there was the Fable announcement.
Yeah.
And what you had written about.
The trailer was funny. I'll say that. I didn't see that one.
I'll say this: they got the tone right.
Yeah, but
what the fuck? Okay, if this is an MMO, for real, I'm going to be very upset.
Right.
I'm not going to be that shocked if it's an MMO. They've been fumbling with Fable ever since they bought Lionhead Studios. Like, they don't know what to do anymore with them. Like, see what sticks. Like, what was it? There was supposed to be like an Xbox Live, never materialized.
It just, I don't know. It just like that whole thing is just really. I love Fable a lot. Like I played a lot of Fable 2. I played a lot of Fable 3. The first one I played a little bit of. It's the one I'm not that familiar with, even though people yell at me when I say that. I can't take another bad Fable game. Honestly, I can't do it. I legitimately, I'll be devastated.
I mean, I would argue Fable 3, half of it was Fable.
Okay, I'm not saying Fable 3 is a better Fable, because like there are clear problems with that game.
Yeah.
Very clear problems with that game.
Yeah.
But God, I can't take another disappointment.
Yeah, that was for me seeing. All right, this is Fable. Oh, so this is as far off as the next. Okay, got it.
Like State of Decay. Did you see that shit about State of Decay where it's not even in production right now? It was just in pre-production, and they put that together.
Oh, so it was kind of like that. Was it Dead Island 2?
Yeah, that game's not coming out.
Yeah, where they had that trailer for it and nothing ever else.
Oh God, that was a time. Oh.
Yeah. It was wonderful. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I would say the Sony thing or the Microsoft game-wise, it was a little bit of a disappointment.
At least
advertising it something more than it was. Go ahead.
Yeah. At least Sony showed us the UI. That's all I care. Like,
yeah.
It's so dumb that we're at a point in time where that's a thing. We can be like, at least that happened.
Yeah, well, we're all desperate for something. Like,
you want to feel something.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think that's the weirdest thing. Like, most years I'm like, oh man, E3's coming up. Can't wait. Bad.
And then E3 dies, and then a global pandemic happens.
Yeah, so now it's just like, oh, okay, we get to watch a hour-long video. This studio that it just doesn't. I don't know. It just doesn't feel the same. Hit the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Arlen, what do you think? What do you think about video games? Tell us about.
I wasn't as attentive for video games as I was that last presentation that we talked about. I did see the newest trailer for Medium though, and that game looks
cool.
Then,
which one was Medium?
Project Medium, I think, is the Hellblade Guide's newest game. I think it's the same studio.
It's the very not Dark Souls, Silent Hills-esque kind of.
I thought it was a Silent Hill game. I honestly did.
I must have missed this trailer completely.
Yeah, it's like a girl going to an asylum, and then it keeps switching to like super over the top, like gothic, and just like a regular rundown asylum.
It's called Medium. It's
yeah.
Trying to find the developer. I'm on the website right now.
It looks cool aesthetically. As I don't know if we've talked about it on here precisely.
Oh, it's Bluebird Studios.
Yeah. My history with horror games, I can't play them, but I will be happy to hear other people say that they played it and had a good time because
like the Layers of Fear. I don't know if you ever played that. It's great.
Yeah, I did. I played it for a bit because once again it was on Game Pass, so I was like, oh, check this out. Yeah,
they have Single Witch, which again I could not get past a certain part of that because fuck no. But that game was good from what I could play of it. So yeah, that looks like something that could be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, anything else, or specifically from that? Oh, anything specifically from that presentation that you can think? Because I'm gonna hit the things that.
I like that Rare is not Connect shovelware.
Anymore. Yes, thank you. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Even though, this is where I was like, I completely read off this conference when Rare came out and was like, yeah, we don't even know what Everwild is. So
yeah,
but it looks cool. Whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like they've got a kernel of an idea there. Yeah. That brings up a good point. They stuff other than the
Sea of Thieves?
It felt like a lot of this was just, hey, here's a thing that we kind of have an idea for, but
Yeah.
systems are coming out real soon.
Look, it's a lot. I think a lot of it is the year.
Yeah.
Right.
I know Nintendo has having a lot of issues because of a lot of their marketing staffers aren't around because of COVID. So, or how I don't know how they're going to do a direct. I know that things might be happening.
Just do it all animated.
I think they gotta do puppets again.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be rad.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where like the year just sucks. Honestly, it's not anyone's fault. It's just this is the worst possible time this could possibly happen.
Yeah.
So here's a new Remedy game that nobody's talking about. Hey, but it's here and we're working on it.
God, which game was that? Holy shit! What?
Crossfire X. That's a Remedy.
What was that? Wait, what did you say?
What?
What did you say?
Crossfire.
Oh, okay.
So the crazy thing about that is they're just doing the campaign for that game. That's a game that already exists.
Oh, okay.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
So Crossfire X, I believe, was a Korean MMO.
Oh no.
Dude, this thing is huge. Like it is apparently the biggest like online shooter over there or some shit.
Honestly, I'm kind of into that idea though of like we want to do a first player version for a game that already exists. Let's just bring in Remedy. We're just gonna hire them to like.
And it has a fucking crisis suit. It's awesome.
And it also had the what was it? Let's say 2018. When did Dark Souls 3 come out? Was that
2016?
Okay.
2017 around that time.
That was the start of like, all right, let's take a song but have a woman sing it slowly in a cover version. So Crossfire X has X gonna give it to you.
It does. It's so funny.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They know their audience.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Of all the songs. Of all the fucking songs they could have chosen.
Oh my god. Okay. Not to go off topic. The Medium? Guess who's doing the soundtrack?
Who is that?
Akira Yomiaka, the Silent Hill guy.
Oh shit.
All right. Good for him.
All right, I'm in.
Yeah.
That's all I needed.
I'm 100% for that. Yeah, maybe I'll actually finish one of their games this time.
Wow.
I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, like, maybe I'll actually get around to finishing one of them times.
It's okay, Eric. Half of them are bad.
Okay. Well, there we go. There we go. Yeah, I don't know. Anything else video game-wise?
I think I'm good at least. I don't know.
I'm pretty good. I mean, there's not much to talk about, really.
Yeah, not really. Not really. Yeah, I mean, there's been a few interesting things that have been released on, at least that I played recently. The newest, super hot.
That looks cool.
It's fun. It's like kind of like you go through a couple levels and you get to choose an upgrade that you permanently have with you. But if you die, you restart or all of the levels.
Yeah,
it's pretty great.
Really, the only thing I've been playing is Paper Mario, and I really like that game.
There you go.
So I'm not gonna spend all my time on this podcast talking about Paper Mario. Honestly,
God, I need to get a Switch.
You should.
Yeah, well, they're impossible to find at this point. And
they are.
I don't have the money for it anyway. So
thanks, COVID.
It's great. It's great. Yeah. I don't know. Did we want to hit on any of those?
Yeah, sure. If you guys are still in it, I am.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Okay. So other stories in our extras section. This is from like a month ago, but it came out like the day after we recorded our last news hour. Scott Derekson is apparently directing the Labyrinth sequel when movies are allowed to go back into production and be released. Yeah.
How I've never seen Labyrinth. How would they do this without David Bowie though?
That was going to be my question.
Well, so when they first announced that they were doing this, my answer to that was they'll recast, and it's a character. From my understanding of the character, I don't know if you need David Bowie. I think it's a big part of it.
Here's my issue with that statement. It's David Bowie.
No, I 100% agree. And I remember saying at the time, the only person who I think would be allowed is Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
And anybody else, I don't care.
Honestly, she's the closest.
Yeah, like she's the only one I can think of that can capture that same energy. And the way that they explain the character, he's the Goblin King, and he's like somewhat paranormal. He really doesn't fit within like strict rules in terms of physical form. Again, I haven't seen the movie in like years, but my understanding is that he's a character who can kind of shapeshift. So if the Goblin King showed up and it was Lady Gaga, I would have no problem with it. I'm sure that there are people that would have a problem with it. And I completely respect that perspective if that's anybody's take. So yeah.
I mean, I don't really care either way. David Bowie in that movie, and I don't know. Did we really need a sequel to Labyrinth? I mean, don't get me wrong, it's Scott Derekson.
I don't think we do. I wasn't excited about this until I saw this story, because even if I'm not the biggest Doctor Strange fan, I think Scott Derekson's a talented director.
I mean, I like the way Doctor Strange looks a lot. I think it's pretty.
Yeah, and I think he can.
I enjoy it.
Yeah. I think the story and the content of it, it fits. He's not a bad choice by any means. So, like, sure, why not?
For something like that, sure, why not? Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it could work. I mean, I think he'll have to tamper down some of his more malevolent tendencies, I guess, from the movies I've seen of his. Because I mean, Doctor Strange was a good choice for him because of it let him be not quite as family friendly as most Marvel films, because there's a lot of ideas, concepts in there that definitely don't fit into the normal Marvel mold. Yeah, so
if I were a kid, I would have thought some of that movie is scary.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't make this. What's his horror? He can't make this
Sinister.
3.
Oh God, no.
Although I would be very curious, but at the same time, I do feel like, and Dark Crystal gets called on this a lot, but I feel like even this movie, at the time it came out, it did scare some like young children.
Oh, definitely.
I remember being a young child and watching Labyrinth.
Scare kid.
Terrified, yeah. So
easy.
Like, I think even him like lightly being scary is enough. And also bring back terrifying children. That's yes.
Spooky kids always.
Yeah, that's the best thing Steven Spielberg ever to James was scare the shit out of kids. No, it wasn't to J.J. Abrams. I think the guy directed the House with the Clock.
Oh, Eli Roth. Eli Roth.
Yeah. Didn't Steven Spielberg say something along those lines to him? Like,
scare the shit out of kids.
Somebody.
That's a great piece of advice.
Yeah. No, it's I love the fact that Steven Spielberg said that. Like that he's like, no, scare kids. It's good.
No, fuck kids.
He might have been talking to the guy who did it. I could see that.
I don't. Let me see. I don't know if you want to move on to this thing.
He did definitely say that. You can look that up, and we'll.
It's like Kojima when Kojima talked to the guy who's directing the movie that'll never come out. He was like, I guess the director walked up to him and was like, "Hey, like, what would you do if you were directing a movie?" And he goes, "Betray your audience." I'm like, yeah, that's on track.
Yeah, that's very Kojima advice. Yeah, just make something nobody expects.
Yeah, just
that would be the most accurate to Metal Gear, as far as I can tell. Just
something incomprehensible.
Just not the Metal Gear movie anybody wants at all. Just is it Metal Gear 3 where Snake isn't in it, or is it Metal Gear 2?
2.
Metal Gear 2. Just make
that game's great.
That game is great.
despite what everyone says.
It is. From everything I've heard, it's great. But like, I know that there's a certain segment of video game fans who'd be like, "You did that one, the one where Snake isn't even there."
Yeah,
God.
but in the same game, Hideo Kojima predicted meme culture. Like,
he did.
it's crazy.
Exactly. Yeah. Anyways,
and it was Eli Roth that Spielberg told to. Here it is. Spielberg's reaction to the John Belarus adaptation. Eli really did it. He really made a true Amblin movie. It's not here before it, yet it feels like a tradition of those. You're really carrying the torch. Goes on to tell him, like, yeah, you know, you're trying to scare the shit out of kids. So yeah, it's Steven Spielberg gets a monster. There we go.
Right. Yeah.
I love the idea of Steven Spielberg. Like, it's like, okay, I got 2 goals for this movie. How do I work my parents' divorce into this? And how do I scare the shit out of kids?
God damn it.
Yeah, this the next story. What is this? Like, I've heard nothing about this until you brought it up.
It sounds rad.
It's a news story from a couple days ago, and I was looking through Collider. I was like, sign me up. Elisabeth Moss is doing a movie based off a book. And it's about a time-traveling serial killer, I guess.
Interesting.
Bro, that's wild.
I know nothing about this, but it's Elisabeth Moss.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm fucking in.
Time traveling serial killer though.
Yeah, like those are words that are immediate. Again, this is another one I think was made specifically for me. And so yeah, I'm there.
I really like her, but I hate the fact that she's a Scientologist so much. So I'm so conflicted.
I hate the world we live in so much.
It's really weird because, like, I was able to separate myself from it while I was watching Invisible Man, and every single time I watch it, I'm able to separate myself. But when it's over, part of me is like, so she made that movie, and she didn't see the connections between the Adrian character and an organization that she's a part of.
I was just about to make the joke. That Invisible Man
it's like the Adrian person as an organization, and she exists within it. And she does it a lot. She does it.
Yeah, Handmaid's Tale. What the fuck?
Yeah.
A lot of the ideas in there are things that they want.
It's basically like the universe is coming together to make this woman understand that Scientology is bad. It's not working.
But she's just not connecting the dots between what she does in her work and her real life.
Well, unless Invisible Man was kind of being like, please help. Please help. Like, that was kind of her cry for help.
It was your quoted message about the Church of Scientology.
Yeah. You know, I want to escape this terrible thing that's invisible, controls all aspects of life.
Please help.
Yeah. You know, no, think about it. Think about it, man. Tapping the side of my head.
So yeah, I can't wait for Shining Girls to also be a cry for help for
exactly.
To be. But yeah, I don't know.
It's really funny if like the serial killer is Tom Cruise.
Yeah. Also, it kind of reminds me of that. Erik, did you see that Boyd Holbrook movie about the time traveling killer? Were you the one that had also seen that? I think it takes place in your neck of the woods, actually.
I might have.
It was the Netflix original where Boyd Holbrook is like, it's overtime and he's hunting this killer who's revealed.
Yes, yeah, it's the in the Shadow of the Moon or something like that.
Under the Flower Moon or Shadow Moon.
Yeah, Under the Shadow of the Moon, I think it is. Yeah, I saw that.
That's a great name.
It's actually really good. Like, surprisingly good.
I mean, I like Boyd Holbrook. I'll watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really should. Like it. My wife and I watched it just on a lark. We're just like, oh, let's see what this is. I'd seen it on Netflix when I was flicking through stuff, and I was like, but yeah, it's good. Like, I feel I can't remember the ending, but I feel like there was something about it, kind of like, well, it's good, but there was one thing that I didn't, but it didn't track. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean. Actually, I think I can probably figure it out. Yeah, it just sort of has a similar concept at a very base level. And I really liked that movie. And this is a series, also, I think.
Oh.
So again, like I'm into it. My big like thing that's a barrier is it is an Apple Plus show, but
what?
at some point I'm gonna sign up for Apple Plus for a month, and I'm just gonna like tear through all of it. I'm just gonna watch a bunch.
I'll pirate it.
Well, because they have a lot of good stuff. Like they have a Chris Evans show that I'm not watching at the moment.
Wait, what?
Like, yeah, it's a show where he plays a lawyer whose son has gotten into some really dark stuff. And his son is played by the lead kid from It.
Finn Wolfhard?
No.
The one who played Bill.
Oh, that kid. All right.
And it's Chris Evans. And apparently he's doing a very good job in that show. So I'm curious about that.
Because my wife got me Christmas last year. I have free Apple TV, whatever, Apple Plus until December. And we watched the M. Night Shyamalan show. Can't remember. And it's interesting, but his storytelling doesn't work like 8, 9, or 10 episodes it was, because it's constantly just why is that going on? And even like, cause I know there's going to be another, theory there's going to be another based on everything that's going on, but even the way
really broke up really bad there.
Sorry. I know there'll be another season, but in theory there'll be another season based on everything that's going on. But even the way this season ended didn't really answer anything, and it's just like, well, why did I even spend 9 hours of my watching this?
Yeah, I think that's even though I think he's somewhat cleaned up his act, I do think that's just an M. Night problem in general. Yeah, but I don't know. Like also in this story, they talk about a lot of stuff. Like Paul Rudd is doing a Mosquito Coast remake.
What?
Okay.
I don't know who's greenlighting that, but like, hey.
America's Dad, Paul Rudd. I'm into it.
Julianne Moore is going to be starring in an adaptation of Lizzie's story, the Stephen King novel. Erik, have you read that one? Is that one?
Lisey's story.
Yes.
That one is interesting. Like I read it. Like I got it for like $10 because it's like, oh yeah, I haven't read this before, and it's interesting because it's Stephen King actually captures at least what I imagine is the voice well in the story. Like surprisingly, like it didn't feel like any of his other books. Like that was the crazy thing. I mean, it goes into some Stephen King weirdness from what I remember, but it's been so long since I've read it. But yeah, it's good, but I don't remember enough of it to really have an opinion on it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of other stuff on here, like a Gal Gadot Hedy Lamarr series. Again, like Apple's making some crazy choices here. They're just swinging for the fences, and it looks like they bought the Martin Scorsese adaptation of Killers of the Flower Moon. That's what I was confusing us with earlier.
Okay.
That title was in my head.
What is that? Again, I don't even know.
Killers of the Flower Moon is one of the first major serial killings, or
okay.
Yeah. And it's a story that takes place on a reservation, and it's going to be starring Robert De Niro and
of course
Leonardo
it is.
DiCaprio.
Bobby.
So it's Martin bringing together his favorite toys, his two favorite action figures, his Buzz Lightyear and his Woody, and he's gonna make them fight. Probably
and it's gonna be 6 hours.
Exactly, and I will watch all 6 hours. Like I said, I'm gonna sign up for Apple TV for like a month at some point, and I'm just gonna watch all of
Everything.
it.
I'll only watch it if it's exclusive to Fortnite. That's the only way I watch it.
Yes, you're gonna watch Amazing Stories, which I think my wife and I an episode of, and we're like, meh.
Yeah, I'm having a real hard time with anthologies, especially after that last Black Mirror kind of.
Yeah, shit the bed. Like, let's be honest.
They put out a good episode, and then the rest of them were garbage.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, they kind of got into their own hype a little bit with that season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, especially.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, especially after the prior season, the single meanest episode of TV I've ever seen with Crocodile. Right. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's that season. I think they got a little bit crazy about having stars. I think that's the main thing that killed that season. They were like, we got I can't say his whole name, but Mateen, the guy who played Black Manta, and we got Anthony.
We got the Falcon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we got Miley Cyrus. Yeah.
And that's the best one because she's the least like celebrity, I guess, in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways, so that looks cool. I'm into anything Elisabeth Moss does, but I'm with you, Erik, on the whole but Scientology though.
Yeah, that's the part that's so hard to divorce head. Like she should from Scientology.
And it doesn't help that she's not like Tom Cruise, where he'll pick things where it's like it's very easy to forget that he's part of Scientology because he picks movies that have nothing to do with Scientology.
And then no, that can't even be allegories for.
Right. And
I think The Mummy was an allegory for Scientology somehow.
Oh yeah, that's what happens when your Thetan level gets too high.
Right.
You turn into a mummy.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
You absorb an ancient curse and you become the mummy.
I can't believe I can't believe that's a thing that happens in that movie.
You know what I'm talking about? Do you know what the titular mummy of the title is? Do you know?
Because it's not who you think it is.
Wait, what? What are you talking about? I watched the movie.
Wait, did you see the movie or not?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
Okay, you saw it. So you know Tom Cruise is the mummy at the end.
Yeah. Because... Or to continue the Scientology allegories, he becomes
God damn it. Okay, anyways. Moving on from Scientology.
I need my own cruise ship.
Look at my teeth.
So,
Look at my teeth.
So Edgar Wright is doing another movie. That's really the story here.
Yes.
But he's doing, it sounds like a horror movie, at least a ghost movie set on a stage.
It's from what I had read about it a while ago. It's him tapping into like, I think he had said like 70s or 80s British horror.
What?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love that.
Very few movies have done that recently. In Fabric was kind of going for that. So much that like, what is it? The opening 4 or 5 minutes, like they show a montage of scenes that don't even happen in the movie.
Hell yeah.
They show scenes that have nothing to do with the actual movie that you see involving the characters that show up.
Awesome.
Because why not? It's fantastic. So yeah, like if he's going for that, I can't wait. I can't wait because I know that he loves that stuff. He's talked about it many times. If anybody's seen Trailers from Hell, he's talked about the movie. Is it Look or something? Or
Don't Look Now, I think.
Don't Look Now. So I can't wait. I didn't even know that little detail, but that I'm so.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe I'm misconstruing it, but I could have sworn that he has said like this is his like British horror film. So yeah, I mean, it's Edgar Wright. I don't care. Like it's gonna be good.
Yeah, he could announce almost anything. Like it could be a remake of Powder, and I would be like,
"Oh God!"
All right, I'm not gonna be excited about this, but like I'll watch it just to see what's going on here.
It would somehow be good, and the soundtrack would. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He would somehow figure it all out. Yeah, like I'm into it. I'm very into it. Hunter, did you have thoughts? I haven't heard from you yet.
I don't know. Sounds cool.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing. When you guys talk about horror movies, and this happens a lot, like I'm not as into them as you guys are.
Well, this is more Edgar Wright, though.
Yeah, I like Edgar Wright. Like I'll watch Edgar Wright movie for sure. And the idea of a haunted studio backlot is interesting too.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. Like when Arlen and I are talking about British horror, it's not like American horror.
Right.
No. All show. Like British horror movies are more creeping, and like there's some reveals at the end, but most of it is just like a creeping dread or like that are perpetrated.
Yeah.
Like,
not like physically.
Like even the newer Hammer movies, since they arose from their grave to bring us new to do new movies set in old haunted houses. They're still doing like their same thing. It's just updated. It's just new cameras, new actors. But it's all the same stuff of like, it's a creepy house. Can you believe it? And most of it works. I've actually watched a lot of their backlog. I watched that Winchester movie and the one with Daniel Radcliffe.
Wait, they did that?
Yeah, they did Winchester, and they did I think they did both Women in Black. But I've
only
yeah.
Yeah, God, I forgot about the Woman in Black. Yeah, that's a example. British horror
movie came out.
Yeah,
and they made a sequel.
Why?
I don't know because
they can't.
Because the first one apparently was decent.
I remember the only thing I remember about the Woman in Black is the trailer was being especially creepy.
Yeah. Well,
that trailer freaked me the fuck out. Actually, I remember that. I remember watching that at like late at night. Well, trailers get me late at night. I remember being very young and seeing trailers for The Grudge at night, and I couldn't do things.
Oh, dude, that would always fuck me up as a kid. That and the Dark Skies trailer, for some reason, that movie sucked. But for some reason, that trailer got to me.
Well, the Dark Skies trailer and the Fourth Kind trailer.
Yes.
Freaky as fuck. I don't know why.
I don't know, when I was 10, 11, something like that, and maybe I've told this, my parents stay up as late as weekend. So I would sit around, and then, back in the day when TV would actually shut down for the after a certain hour, they would have nothing to really fill the time between, like, say, 3 air. So they would just stuff like that. Saw so many different. Maybe shouldn't have. So that kind of permanently warped me for a long time. Like being up on your own at like 3 a.m. when you're watching a horror movie, you're just like, it was fun. It was a good time.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Actually.
So yeah, is there anything else we want to touch on?
I'm
this
good.
Mini. Okay. Cool. Well, it's almost 1, so yeah. Or
it's 1 a.m. I
you gotta sleep off that drinking.
Yeah, I gotta go slap my roommates.
Go do a line of coke.
Yeah.
And then show them your teeth because you've been possessed by Elrond. It's I don't know, how do we want to sign off on that?
Bye, I guess. People listening to this,
what we're gonna say. I have not changed my plugs for about 3 years now.
Yeah. This is a new. Well, you do have the T-shirt thing, so that is different.
Teespring.com/America's Boyfriend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. All the stuff I said before, but I also wanted to that I'm a really big fan, and this was something I can't take credit for. Video game or Vigi Apocalypse, but he took these lines from the 9 Inch Nails song "March of the Pigs" All the pigs are all lined up. I give you all that you want. Take the skin and peel it back. Doesn't that make you want snacks? And just do that in the tune of the Bug Snack song. So I'm just waiting for someone to mash that up at some point.
Someone.
That's all I got.
Someone more talented than us.
Please.
Some hero, some saint will do this for us.
Someone who has access to a computer, because I. Anyways, I hope everybody had a good time.
Yeah. Thank you for somehow getting to part 2 of this and actually listening to the whole thing.
Yeah,
We
and congratulations on not being a drunk mess tonight, Hunter. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I actually, in the span it took to record this podcast, I got food and like sobered up. So
there you go. Nice. Good job, because it was sounding a little bit dicey when we first.
It was not great.
All right, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Fuck.